The British liked to preen themselves on the morality of this decision, that between 1833 and 1838 they end a system that they had in fact perfected and that had seen the shipping of millions of Africans across the Atlantic. For all kinds of complicated reasons, the British turned their back on that in the 1830s, mainly economic, partly theological, partly political, but they turned their back on it. They decide they don't need it. But that leaves them with a problem, because the great economic system that they put in place on the back of slavery, and that is sugar, primarily sugar, though other commodities as well, had to be produced by someone. Indians seem to fit the bill. India might actually be a kind of replacement for Africa. India and Indians might actually provide an answer to the labour void that had opened up in the old slave colonies.
Whitehall's answer came in 1836. Publicly committed to spending millions dismantling the slave trade, the government secretly colluded in the creation of a new system of slavery. It was called indentured labour.
Indentured labour is a man or woman putting a mark on a document, a legal document, signing away their freedom to a particular employer for the duration specified by the indenture, 5, 7, 10 years, whatever. You're no longer a free man.
To trade in human lives so soon after the abolition of slavery required high-level contacts. But the man behind the plan was John Gladstone, a former Member of Parliament and father of the future British Prime Minister. He began by writing to one of his former colleagues in the slave trade.
You will probably be aware that we are very particularly situated with our Negro apprentices in the West Indies, and that it is a matter of doubt and uncertainty how far they may be induced to continue their services on the plantations after their apprenticeship expires in 1840.
In May 1836, Gladstone received the reply he was hoping for.
Dear Mr. Gladstone, we thank you for your inquiry. Within the last 2 years, upwards of 2,000 natives have been sent from this to the Mauritius. The Dangas are always spoken of as more akin to the monkey than the man. They have no religion, no education, and in their present state no wants beyond eating, drinking and sleeping, and to procure which they're willing to labour. We're not aware that any greater difficulty would present itself in sending men to the West Indies, the natives being perfectly ignorant of the place they agree to go to and the length of voyage they're undertaking.
Gladstone was delighted, and a deal was struck. The first ships left the port of Calcutta in April 1838, carrying a human cargo of some 400 Indians. They were called the Gladstone Coolies, after the Anglo-Indian word for manual labourer. These coolies would be making the longest journey of their lives.